Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, geeks, nerds, and ambassadors everywhere, and welcome to the Ambassadorial Wing. And if this is your first time to the Ambassadorial Wing, welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight for another in my series of the Ambassadors Retro Reviews. And tonight we are revisiting the Winchester. We are going back into the early 2000s to a great comedy classic from across the pond, Shaun of the Dead. And with me this evening, I've got my two good friends. You know them, you love them, Big Daddy John B. and my neighbor from the great Hoosier State, Sir Nerdlot. Gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. And as always, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you very much. It's always great to be here. I would not have missed this. I love this film. Great British classic.
Dude, you're in terms of like British comedies, this is like in my top 5.
Oh,
roughly.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how much I love this movie. I love this movie, not more than life itself, but I love this movie. I mean, you talk about the acting, the writing.
Oh, yeah.
The music. Oh my gosh.
Cannot forget
this
the music.
This movie has absolutely, positively everything that you would love as a comedy fan and a movie fan, and especially if you love British humor, and I, as one, do. So, gentlemen, that all being said, I have done my spiel. Let's open this puppy up and let's have some fun tonight. Or as they said, time at the bar, John. So,
thank you very much.
Let's get going.
So yeah, it's definitely one of the great ones of the time. You know, this came out back in 2004, I believe, and it still stands today. Again, great cast. It was done by Edgar Wright, a great film, a great director. As you notice, he does a lot of tropes, like a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of visual gags.
Yes.
There's also a lot of callbacks and repeats and stuff like that. But not just that, the filmography, photography, sorry, is fantastic. You had full shots, you had quick shots, you had what do you call it, where you cutscenes, you know, where it's kind of like Star Wars but its own effect, you know, where it slides on the next scene. Dissolve, yes, kind of like that, yeah.
But transition, I think it's what you mean.
Yes indeed. And it was just so awesome, you know. There's a lot of callbacks and references to other films, especially Dawn of the Dead, which is
many.
You know, where they get the name Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, well, and the thing you have to remember, this was made, I think, just a year or so, released just a year or so after Zack Snyder's remake of Shaun of the Dead, and you know, another great movie right there. I mean, I love the original. I remember seeing the original when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But as the tagline for this movie said, it's a rom-com with zombies.
Oh,
and you cannot go wrong. I mean, I actually, for Christmas, my in-laws got me a PlayStation Store card, and I was like, I want some more movies. And I found on the PlayStation Store the 3-pack of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
there we go. That's it right there. And I just recently got done. I used to have this movie on, I think it was like DVD, and I love the commentary track with it. It is so funny and so insightful. The fun fact is about this movie, it was originally called Tea Time with the Dead, which I
Wow.
thought, yeah, the writing title, I think, or the working title was Tea Time with the Dead. And
No, no, it's catchy, but it's funny. Yeah.
yeah, but Shaun of the Dead, I think honestly was
Yeah.
a
It's a good play on
was a bit.
words.
Well, it's a yeah, definitely, it's a play on words, and just I don't remember. I think I went. I think I may have seen this in theaters. And I was like, I have got to get this when it comes out on video. Have to. That's how much I love this movie.
Oh yeah.
But
I've got
it's
it. Yeah.
just
I've got the
it's
whole trilogy.
oh, totally. Well, and the crazy thing
The
is,
the Cornetto trilogy, I believe it's called.
yes, yeah, because of
Yep.
the little ice cream cones, and you actually see Ed. And to the chat, Wookiee supremacy, calling it out like bringing the heat to Wookiee supremacy. Good to see you, bud. And I'll bring up his comment here. Anyone saying anything bad about this absolute masterpiece is a brain dead more. Well, Wookiee, I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I would definitely say that their taste in comedic films, or just comedy in general, can be brought into question. I would say that much, but I do get what you're saying. In Wookiee supremacy, it is good to see you, but it's been a little bit, and I'm glad you're here tonight. So, but yeah, this movie, as you brought up, John, it is a trope film, which Edgar Wright does, and he does
Oh yeah.
very well. He understands movie tropes. And not only did he blend a zombie movie with a rom-com, he did it very, very well. So,
Oh yeah.
but I
Uh,
don't want to monopolize this conversation, gentlemen. I yield the floor. Go ahead.
it kind of reminds me of like the Orville, and that it can be a comedy and can be serious at the same time. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are some emotional moments in this that really gets you tear-jerking. They face a lot of serious moments, depression, family arguments, um, loss of a girlfriend, loss of a family member. There's a lot of heart-wrenching moments in this that really gets the tear-jerkers, so that you really, really feel for the characters and you really go along with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the perfect balance of horror, comedy, and the emotional side as well, which is just done perfect. Again, like as I was saying earlier on, it's full of references and Easter eggs. One
Mm-hmm.
of the most famous has got to be "We're coming to get you, Barbara."
Yes. Yeah, call back to the original Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, not to mention it does have a couple of references to the Evil Dead movies,
Oh yeah.
with Sam Raimi.
Oh yeah.
Join us, and well, one of the characters that has never seen is named Ash. Ash is out
Yeah.
sick. So,
Right.
so Nerd a lot. Your thoughts?
I think the biggest thing with this movie for me is that it introduced me to so much more. So Shaun of the Dead introduced me to Edgar Wright, which
Mm-hmm.
I have absolutely loved ever since then. Introduced me to Simon Pegg and
Yes.
John B. I don't know if you know the show called Spaced.
I've heard of it.
It's a BBC show. Edgar Wright directed it. Simon Pegg and I forget her name off the top of my head.
The girl who played Liz. Yeah.
No, not the girl that played Liz, but the girl that played
Diana.
The doubles of their group.
Oh right, yeah.
I got you.
The lead girl.
The
Liz,
one that's
not
leading
Liz.
other part. No.
For heaven's sake, Yvonne. That's it, Yvonne.
Yeah. But those two wrote it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like literally one of my favorite sitcoms ever is Spaced, because it has everything Edgar Wright has done since then, with all the movie type tropes, all the references in it, all jam packed into this sitcom, and it's like one of the greatest things ever. And I highly suggest, if you like Shaun of the Dead, you like Hot Fuzz, World's End, all that stuff, check out Spaced.
Well, the interesting thing is they actually I'm definitely gonna have to get this movie again on it, like Blu-ray, or see if maybe they have it on 4K yet, or maybe wait till they do a 4K remaster of it. Because with the commentary track, you have the cast. I think you even have Edgar Wright on there, and they're talking about the movie, and they mentioned a lot of the people that worked on this movie worked on Spaced as well. The show you were talking about in there a lot, and honestly, for me, this. I don't know what it is about this movie, but I can watch it. I've watched it on like so many occasions, and yet every time I still the humor doesn't grow stale. It doesn't grow old. It still engages you. You still enjoy it, and I think the fact that they set out to do a parody almost in the same vein of something Mel Brooks would have done. I mean, think about it. If you think about it, this movie in a lot of ways is almost an homage to a Mel Brooks film. And I would wager Edgar Wright maybe got some inspiration to do what he has done in his career from Mel Brooks. But think about this. It's a romantic comedy about a couple that has split up and is having relationship issues, and it's right in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, or a zombie mini apocalypse. Because eventually at the end, everything kind of resolves itself and everything's fine. I would say honestly that you could put this next to any one of Mel Brooks's best parody or spoof movies, and it would sit very comfortably and very nicely in it. And real quick out to the chat, Neon Sci-Fi, Hot Fuzz. I'm actually do a review for that one too at some point. I love that movie. The only one of the three I have not seen is World's End, but now that I have all three on my on digital, I'm definitely going. And I bought them; they're mine, provided nothing happens to my PS4, which I keep in good shape, so nothing should. I'm definitely going to sit down and watch. I may do a one-off review on that, and because sometimes I just don't have all the time to do live streams. But anyway, beside the point. But the cast of this movie, you've got Shaun, Simon Pegg, you got Nick Frost as Ed, you've got the girl who plays Liz and Diane, and you've got David, and you've got Pete. Oh, and fun fact, I don't know if you fellas know this, the guy that plays the Shaun's roommate, Pete, he actually did the voiceover work for Darth Maul for Phantom Menace.
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And speaking of other people on the cast, Dylan Moran.
David. Yes.
David. Yeah.
And
that's another show, another BBC show that I found because of looking into Shaun of the Dead and all the things that are connected to that. It's called Black Books, and Dylan Moran wrote this. And I don't know, have you either one of you seen any of Dylan Moran's stand-up?
I have not, but I'm sure it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, he is absolutely hilarious. Nothing like the character in Shaun of the Dead.
I mean, because he was annoying than that.
More his character in Run Fat Boy Run.
Oh, I've seen that one. That's good.
It's more I've
heard of it, but I've never seen it.
That's a good movie too.
Oh yeah. You can probably tell why I watched that one.
Oh,
I
now
thought
come on, John.
that title's talking to me.
Well, and there's so much about this movie that we could just spend hours on and discussing. But one thing that the thing that Edgar Wright and the editors and the music, the people that did the music, they really were able to edit the music to go very well with the move with the situations as it went along. I mean, can you think of even any more iconic scene than that towards the end where they're Mr. Dynamite by Queen and they're beating John with pool cues? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, oh my gosh.
And meanwhile, David's back there trying to mess with the circuit breaker, and the lights are just going on and off. It's like a disco going on.
Oh man!
That one song, just for that moment, just makes it memorable. You know, it just goes. It's very action packed. It's very fun and energetic, and it's comedic. I just remember that scene so well. Like they're hitting them over the back instead over the head, and it's like, no, what are you doing? That won't kill them. But they don't care. They're just beating them, rocking around in circles. Almost like the dancing in tune with the music.
And then Big John just throws them off like a big burly wrestler. And just quick shout out to the chat, Shan Thorpe and Tyler M. Gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for being here tonight, and hope you enjoyed the stream. So, and Tyler is playing original Xbox. Dude, I wish I still had my original Xbox. Oh my freaking gosh.
Man, that thing was a beast. That could literally, like, apocalypse could happen.
That thing is a freaking brick. That thing was a freaking brick. And can we just say old school PS2, the one that Shaun and Ed owned? Oh,
I've still got mine. I don't have a PS4, 3 or 4, but I've still got a PS2. I'm very old school that way.
And hey, that's cool. Okay, fun little fact. When me and Mad Ambassador started dating, she told me that she had a PS1 and a PS2. And here's the crazy thing. They still work.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
We have everything up to a 4. We don't have a 5 yet, but we're eventually going to get one because, well, I believe we'll want one.
That's the thing. Back then, they knew how to make things that would last. You know, they made things that would not break, no matter how much dust or how much you hit it. It kept going. Nowadays, the smallest nudge and everything breaks. It's like, no, work. Makes me wish the old days back to Windows ME or XP before Windows 10 had all these errors.
Well, I'm working off Windows 10 and it does just fine for me, but of course that's me. I take good care of my electronics. I'm weird that.
You must be lucky.
Yes. Well, not to get off on a big tangent about gaming systems, but watching those two sit there and playing, and you're like, oh, I miss my 20s.
All right.
It's interesting, again, how that scene is like a reference and a foretelling of later on. You know, it's a foreshadowing. They say, you know, what was it they say? I've got it here. Top left, reload, nice shot. And it's a shot by shot of what happens later on in the bar. It's like top left, he's going top left, and then he goes, oh no, reload, headshot, nice shot. And it's the exact same as what happens in the game, and that is just, you know, a great. That, you know, It's awesome how many
Yeah.
callbacks and foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It's very repetitive. They use the same jokes over and over, but they work.
Yep.
And they get funnier each
Yes.
time. It's like they're developing the joke. Like it starts here, and then you've got the middle, and then you have the end, and that's punchline, and it's fantastic. So yeah, Edgar, he really knew how to
Well,
put things out.
yeah. Well, if you think about it, every character's name kind of has a play on itself. Ed
Yes,
ends up dead.
dead
Liz lives.
lives.
Shaun, I'm not sure what the anagram for Shaun was, but he makes it too.
Shaun goes on. I don't know, something like that.
That could work.
Dave,
Yeah, that could work.
Dave,
Okay.
Dave goes to the grave.
Yeah, and well, I don't know if you've ever watched
Kill Phil.
well, I don't
He
know if
was a
you've ever
good
watched.
actor, the one
Yeah.
that played Phil.
Oh,
Sorry, what were you saying?
Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love Bill
Yeah,
Nye.
that's such a great role, having him in there.
He's not my dad.
I know. He plays like the perfect arsehole that you wouldn't like, but at the same time, when he's dying, he's like so sympathetic. Like he only wanted to do what's best for him and fill in the role, and that's just a tear-jerking moment. Like,
Yes.
No, why did you say that? I liked you better when you were prick.
Right. And then,
and it made him feel all guilt-ridden for all the things he said to him. And it's like, no. But that was funny, they worked well together, the two, because you've got the serious Bill, and then you've got the comedy of Simon Pegg, and they just mesh well together.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved his entrance. When he comes to see him at
the electronics store.
Yeah, and he's just standing there all creepy.
Oh yeah,
and he does that.
Just like what you were saying.
You've got red on you.
Yeah,
another good reference for later on.
The way he's just standing there is just another reference to further on in the movie where he turns into,
Yeah.
And I wanted to add another thing on to, how Ambassador, you were saying that, this movie holds up so well, it's all these little things like this that you go back and whenever you watch it over and over, you catch every time you watch it, you catch more little things.
Yes.
Well, I think that's why it gets better each time, because each time there's something new, and the comedy is so good that it doesn't matter which period you watch it in, it holds up even till today, where most other comedies are getting cancelled. This one is still iconic and doesn't get stale. You can leave it for a few days, you can leave it for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, come back to it, and it's still as good as the first time you watched it. And even if you leave it, that makes it even better, because you forget some things, and then it's like rewatching it all over again, and that's just so magical.
Well, and speaking for myself, the thing that I loved about this film was it was really truly such a novelty. It was something that we had not ever seen. I mean, we've seen a lot of zombie movies. I mean, lots and lots. I mean, I grew up watching zombie movies as a kid. I've seen the original Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. I saw the remake in the late 80s with Tony Todd and Patricia Tallman. And I love that movie. Love it to death. Saw the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I've seen I don't know how many umpteen dozen movies with zombies in it, but this was the first time I saw a zombie movie that had a rom-com wrapped up in. I'm like, I'm okay with rom-coms, and okay, I'm going to say this. As an American, a Midwesterner, I love American humor. but there's something about British humor that is so it has a originality to it. It has its own
Oh yeah.
particular flavor to it, and that's what I love about it. And this movie really plays up that particular aspect so well. And if I had never seen any of the Monty Python stuff, if I had never seen Monty Python, the Holy Grail, when I was in high school, I don't know if I would have ever necessarily watched this movie. But I think being exposed to it at an age where I could, or I was, it gave me an appreciation. I'm like, yeah, I dig this. I like this. And because in a lot of ways, British humor is more cerebral. It makes you think. And I think that's something it's not something that's necessarily lacking in American humor. There are certain brands of American humor, certain comedians that do humor that make you think. But there's a bit of a sophistication, a bit of a cerebral element to it. And that's something I do appreciate. So, and that's one of the great things about this movie is the jokes don't drop. They were well written, whether it's verbal gags or whether it's or verbal jokes or it's verbal shots. Like, okay, just for example, when they're in the backyard and they're throwing records at
Oh yeah.
the big heavy zombie guy and the little and the woman Mary, and you're like, records are not a weapon. Like, what in the hell
They
are you
work
guys
though.
thinking?
They work though.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly how sharp they can be if you throw them good enough space. Like, have any of you ever seen Dark Angel? I come in peace, where he shoots the CD blade. Well, it's kind of like a CD blade where it's got that edge. That thing is deadly, and that just showed me how sharp a disc can be, especially if it's shot so fast. And the records, the exact same. But yeah, you don't think of it as a weapon, but you do think of it as comedy. I've seen, take records and, it's stuck on repeat and they're just hitting them over the head and hitting them over the head and hitting them over the heads. It's like, no pain, no pain, no pain. And it's like, shut up. And it's just funny. But I especially loved that, zombies coming closer and they still have time to go through the records like, this one, no, not that one, no, that one. I throw that one. Batman, yeah, throw that one. I was like, what's wrong with Batman?
Yeah, don't throw the Batman soundtrack, but definitely throw Sade for sure. Like, totally. Chuck that sucker.
Mm.
Oh, and okay, going back a little earlier into the movie where Shaun's is going to work, and you have that long tracking shot where he's walking out of oh, dude, and the music is so bloody good. Oh,
and
man, go ahead.
All the extras that we see in that long tracking shot, we see later as zombies. They all come back.
Well, and that was all deliberate. Okay, I know we're bouncing around, but and with this movie, that's okay. The beginning of the movie where they have the title on the ground, and you've got the people there. Dun 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 dun.
I know. It looked like they were getting ready for the Thriller dance. But yeah, that was so good. They already looked dead, but they weren't dead at that point.
No, they weren't dead. They were just they were just playing it very stiff,
brain dead almost. Maybe not dead, but kind of brain dead. In a zombie state, which is quite good because it's a nice reference to both meanings of the word. Like, you've got the brain and flesh-eating undead zombie, and then you've got the brainless NPC almost like, and then I'm like, this film was so ahead of its time.
Mhm.
Because
Totally.
even nowadays, we've got people that are very much like that. That we're very stuck. You don't realize how stuck we are in our mundane ways. We're very repetitive. We do the same things every day.
Mhm.
We're creatures of habit.
Yes.
We like our routine. Especially if you've got OCD.
Mhm.
um, so it's almost like we are zombies in a way, but at the same time we're not. But it's a good way of showing, you know, that we almost are. There's not a big difference between a zombie and some people that you see around. Like, especially when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, and you would think I was a zombie, but I'm not.
Right. Well,
um, and
well, and
it's funny because
Mhm.
he walks past them all, and then he walks past them again later on, and he doesn't realize that they're zombies. He doesn't notice the difference because they almost act the exact same way,
Mhm.
and that
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing for me with that particular, you have
So the ambassador.
Shaun and Ed
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
to check very quickly. DJ Odyssey. DJ.
Oh, hello.
Is everyone still there? I think we've lost
No,
ambassador.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I hear you,
Yeah.
ambassador. You went dead quiet. I think we've lost you. Oh, all right. I guess it's you and me.
Hold
So we heard
on.
a lot. Oh,
Sorry. Hang on, guys. Microwave is playing with my internet. Great.
what I liked about that scene is how it's like a continuation of the theme of Romero's work. Remember when they were in the mall and they're all doing the same things that they do? Is because there's something inside. It's almost like they're programmed to do the same things, and so they're just following their basic instincts. Well, that's almost kind of like what happens here because they enact, the same kind of things. They're still walking the streets. He's the shopkeeper's still in the store. Um, he's still the beggar, still begging for change.
Yeah.
In fact, later on, uh,
And
the
Ed is
time when
still playing games
yes,
with
exactly,
Shaun.
exactly, yes. Later on, he says you might as well be a brainless buffoon in the shed, and funny enough, where does he end up? In the shed.
Right.
And
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
once again,
Hey,
it's foreshadowing.
all right, guys. Am I coming through okay now?
Yep, loud
Yep.
and clear.
All
I
right.
bet
Sorry about that. This was running the microwave. I didn't know that happens. Hey, it's okay. Hey, Deej.
You got a little bit of red on you.
Oh,
Yes, I know.
did,
I'm a chiss.
did you notice?
Deej, how you doing, man? Deej,
Sorry,
You
I thought I
didn't
said
really
shaving.
have to
Dude.
send the link.
Well, I'm aware I didn't have to, but I didn't know that you were such a fan of this. I mean, I send stuff out on Twitter, and I assume people see it when it's like, go, hey guys, I'm going to be talking about this week. Just saying.
I kind of took a break from Twitter and everything else for the last few days and everything.
Oh, okay.
I need to get away from all that toxic crap.
I get that.
I get
Well, I do have Deej, I do have a Facebook account. If you rather communicate, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Shaun of the Dead?
One of the best and most genius takes on the zombie genre ever.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love my zombie movies.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who doesn't?
It continues the lore. Like, remember, he, broke some ground. I think Shaun of the Dead continued a lot of the themes that we've seen.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Shaun of the
You're
Dead,
sorry.
it seems like it fits into all of those, all of Romero's zombie movies, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It could totally fit in that world.
Oh, yeah.
My wife, I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Sorry, man, ambassador's giving me grief.
Oh.
John? No.
What I do?
We got to remember, Peg loves him too because he ended up in a Romero zombie movie.
He did, yeah. Simon Pegg was
Land of the Dead.
And yeah,
That's right. He was in Land of the Dead.
He was one of the zombies.
he was the
I completely
zombie-
forgot about that. Man, he made a good
I
zombie.
didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, he was the zombie in the photo booth, if you remember. The
Huh.
phone booth, I mean. Was that a phone booth for? No, it was a photo booth, aye. Also, there's a lot here that come from here that go later on into Doctor Who. Even Simon Pegg makes an appearance, but Barbara and Bill, they all end up in Doctor Who later on, if you remember.
Yeah, we don't talk about modern Doctor Who. It kind of sends ZJ into a nerd like rage.
It's okay. That was
Okay.
that was the good Doctor Who before all the changes.
Okay, let's put it this way: it was before Jodie Who,
Yes,
and no, I'm not talking about that certain corner that we don't talk about here.
before Dr. Cavan.
And no, Chanthorpe, I did not know George R. R. Martin was a zombie. Although technically he kind of is now. He does nothing but sits around and eats.
He better be
I'm not-
finishing that book, or I'll come chase him down myself.
I don't think there'd be much chasing.
Yeah.
As big as that guy is.
Well, you'd probably have to get past his security, which I'm sure is pretty dope by now.
Yeah, but
He
one
was-
of the
He was also
Go ahead,
in Grindhouse, if you remember that film.
I do,
Yeah,
and we're
He-
actually
he
going to
did.
be.
he played the bearded cannibal. Yeah.
Huh.
So
Well,
yeah,
and
it's funny how many movies he went on from this. After this, he went on to Paul, Hot Fuzz, and then he also went on to the Mission Impossible franchise, all thanks to this movie. So
And also How to Alienate People and Lose Friends,
yes,
which is one of my favorites.
oh man, I've never actually seen that one, but I'll have to check it out sometime.
It's a good one. It has oh gosh, I'm horrible with names, but it has Scully in it from X-Files.
Oh, David
yeah.
Duchovny.
No,
Yeah.
Skull or not.
Oh,
No,
Gillian
Scully.
Anderson.
Yeah, there you go. Spot
Gillian
on.
Anderson. Yeah, Fox, Mulder and Scully. Mulder and Scully. Mulder was the
Yeah.
guy. Mulder was the guy. Scully was the girl.
Yeah. Yes.
And they ended up getting married. Well, in the show, they did.
And speaking of sci-fis, I'm not a fan of the Star Trek movies as much, but I liked him as Scotty. I thought he did quite good as Scotty.
In the world are you?
Simon
What
Pegg.
in the? Oh. Okay.
It was Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright were both in Land of the Dead.
That's awesome.
Now, wasn't that the one with Dennis Hopper?
Yep.
And John Leguizamo?
Yep. Zombies creep me out. See, I got the
And
lines
you're
in my
here-
head.
Yet you're here talking about a movie about zombies.
Yeah, I don't think there's a zombie movie I haven't seen yet.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably some.
I even watched that Dead Set that came from the UK. It
Mm-hmm.
was a short series.
Yeah, that was
It was basically Big Brother, but the zombie apocalypse happened. And then I watched the Portuguese version, which was pretty much the same thing. They just made a few
Yeah.
changes, but I had to watch it in subtitles because I don't understand that language. But yeah, that's how big of a zombie nerd I am.
Well, think about it, Deej. You grew up in one of the greatest decades for zombie movies ever. I mean, you're almost old enough to have seen the original Night of the Living Dead. If
Yeah, I
you're
missed
not
that by 3
expert.
years. Missed that by 3 years.
But really, right around when Shaun of the Dead and it's all like early 2000s, Shaun of the Dead, Resident Evil, 28 Days
Mhm.
Later, you get this huge resurgence in
Oh,
the zombie movie franchise.
28 Days Later is not a zombie movie.
It's
Okay.
zombie-esque.
Kinda.
It's zombie-esque,
I mean,
but it's not pure zombie. But
It's not your traditional zombies, but they still act like zombies almost, because they don't have that kind of part of the brain working. That's what we were talking about earlier on. There's two different meanings of the word zombie. You can be like a brain dead zombie, like I'm too tired. I'm going back to my bed. See ya.
What I enjoyed about Shaun of the Dead, though, is it stuck to the Romero way of making zombies.
Yes.
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 And real quick to the chat,
There were-
Games, Movies, and Comics RS, Richard, good to see you, bud. And thanks for popping in tonight. Good to see. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat. So,
yeah. There was no running zombies in that film.
no.
It was
No,
all
this-
very slow and that.
It was like-
That's a scene I loved.
Oh.
When the drama teachers like,
Yeah,
okay, you have to get in touch with your inner zombie. Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good. Oh, a bit more thingy. Oh, that's fantastic. And he's like, I've not tried it yet. I was like, right, well, just do
And
that.
Barbara had it perfect, just acting like herself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, dear. I was miles away. Yeah, perfect. Just like a zombie. I have to say one of my favorite scenes. One of my really there isn't a. This entire movie is one of my favorite movies, but one of my favorite scenes has to be when Phil turns into a zombie.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's nothing left of the man that you called your husband. And then he turns off the radio. I died. I absolutely died. Like, and Phil, zombie Phil even goes, I loved it. I did. I absolutely loved it.
I love the part where Shaun and Yvonne cross paths the second time, and they both have the entire groups that are pretty much exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a mirror version of each other almost.
Yeah.
Except she was smart enough not to be heading to the Winchester.
Yes.
No, she was heading to like an army base or something, I think. And she,
Yeah.
although
yeah.
I will say, I think Shaun had the better weapon. She had a golf club. He had a cricket bat.
Yep.
Just saying.
Well, it's better than the records they were throwing at him.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that a few minutes ago.
Cricket.
And
What
okay,
the hell
when
is cricket? You have to learn to crumpet before you can cricket.
well, and you know, the really
No.
wacky thing.
Now golf. 4. Off goes the head.
Hey, you hit somebody with a golf club, it's just going to bend.
No.
Depends. It depends on the type of golf club.
Us Scots make them good. Fun fact: the Scots invented golf.
Yes, we know. Thanks to Robin Williams. I got an idea for a game. You take a stick and you whack a ball into a hole. Like pool? Fuck off, pool. Like croquet? Screw off croquet. Man, I miss Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, he was class.
Could you imagine if Robin Williams had ever been in a zombie movie, how funny it would have been?
Oh,
Like in a movie like this. Could you imagine Robin Williams in Shaun of the Dead? Oh my freaking gosh. He would have killed.
Oh yeah.
Even if it was just a cameo of him as a zombie, he would have killed it.
I think he'd be like the Bill Murray zombie from Zombieland.
Zombie. There's another one that came out just I think a year or two after Shaun of the Dead came out, and oh my gosh, I love Zombieland. I have got to get those. I've got to get those movies on the box set.
That's like the American Shaun of the Dead almost.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, yeah. But you know what? That one works too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nerdlot.
No, I was agreeing with John that it's like the American version of Shaun of the Dead in a lot of ways. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Zombieland was only 5 years later.
Oh, was it? Okay. I knew it wasn't too far behind Shaun of the Dead, but still, you know what? Zombieland. Freaking love that movie. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone. Hoof. Hubba hubba. Hello. Woo! Let's see. Do I have a clip for that?
The Search for the Last Twinkie.
Yeah, what a concept though. Yeah, that's great. You know,
I have to
searching.
say, this is the one. That was the one Amber Heard movie I don't mind because she turns into a zombie and she doesn't speak. That's an improvement in my books.
Darn it. I don't have a clip for that. Son of a gun. Okay. Oh, well. That's all right. Moving on.
The mask clip.
Oh,
mask. Yeah.
if I can find it, I have a lot of them. I upload a lot of stuff from the Reface app because I did a whole bunch of refaces. Yeah, I love that app. Well, let's see. Just to give you all an example, I now have Ambassador Obi-Wan. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing. I have Ambassador Joker. Here we go. Got Shazam. I got Man of Steel. And I've got a few others, but I won't bore y'all.
I don't know. I'm kind of picturing your face on the Danny DeVito penguin.
I hope to hell I do not get a strike for this, but DJ?
If you go to Troy, glory will be yours. The world will remember your name.
Achilles!
I was waiting to get booted.
Nah, I don't boo people. Oh, man.
Well, I don't know. I can picture Big Daddy-O on Pee Wee Herman, so there's that too.
And just a quick shout out to the chat. Aaron Entertainment. Hey, Aaron, good to see you, man. Aaron, I don't know if you're busy tonight. If you want to join, the link is in the Hall of Justice chat room on Twitter. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome. But if you're just chilling, good to see you, regardless. Yeah. Tyler M's like, I went nuts with that. That app is addictive.
Oh yeah.
Because they have got so many things that you can. You can be a superhero. You can be a villain. You can be, except for maybe like Boba Fett or Darth Vader. You name it, you can do it.
I mean, that's just an easy reface.
Now with the Mandalorian in that you can be Darth Vader and Boba Fett because they take off the mask. So you could be the maskless Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's true. I could be charred. I could be charred Anakin.
I can do a live reface right now, this second.
Oh, for the love of... Hi, Grogu. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Now go away.
Do you think I was going to put the Momo mask on or something?
Oh, that thing doesn't even bother me anymore.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Dude, I've seen you in the Momo mask. It no longer bothers me. I don't care. So go ahead and do it.
No,
go
I'm
for
not
it.
Do it.
Me personally, I
wait, like Momo from Avatar?
No, Momo, the creepy face that was a big thing. That one.
Oh.
You know what I say to your Momo?
Uh-oh.
He's searching.
Oh no, I got one. This is what I say to your Momo.
I do like that one of yours.
It's funny, you kind of look good with a mustache.
Yep.
I used to have I used to have like a little, kind of like what you've got, John, but I decided to shave it off because it was getting ridiculous. And then a good friend of mine was like, Ambassador, no.
I knew you were going to do this movie, so I grew the goatee just for this movie, you know?
No, you didn't. You had that thing a few days ago, so you shut your face. Dude.
It takes time to grow.
Dude.
Time to perfect.
Dude. Don't make me do it. I'll put on the bat suit and I'll pummel your ass. I'm gonna have so much fun with these clips.
I'm Batman.
He is, dude. Okay,
Why did you say that name?
Okay, I watched that movie back last month. I watched Man of Steel and BVS Ultimate Edition. I'm like, if they don't do Justice League parts 2 and 3, I'm gonna be like, next Thursday cannot get here quick enough for me, at least.
Well, they messed up, and you could have watched the first hour of it the other day.
I know. I heard. Well, they actually dropped earlier this week. They dropped, or I think it was like Monday. They dropped the teaser for Darkseid. And everybody was like melting down. I'm like, this is Darkseid. And then they dropped that clip today of both Steppenwolf and Darkseid. And then towards the end of the teaser, you see a green blur going across, floating up in the sky, and they're like, it's a Green Lantern. Green Lanterns exist in this universe. Well, obviously they would. It's DC, but holy crap. But yeah, I don't want this to turn into a whole Snyder Cut chat session. I mean, we can do that another time.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, and they're that's why. Yeah, I did.
You're good,
you and
man.
I know you and I have talked about that, and I do understand it. Believe me.
As soon as it drops, I'm going to do a live stream review of it as it drops.
Dude, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I'm going to do like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I am super stoked to see this movie.
But you're just tired
But,
of hearing about
I feel
it.
like it's just getting. Like,
It's getting ridiculous.
I feel like too much. Like he's almost giving away too much. Like I know he wants people to watch it, but I'm like, I want to be surprised about some things, and that's all I'll say about that.
Well, it's how long? I think he's going to leave plenty.
It's
Yeah,
4.5
4
hours.
Yeah.
4.5
I
hours.
don't-
You're getting snippets. You're getting snippets, and a lot of it, especially for the heroes, is stuff we've already seen. It's just dialogue. It's snippets of dialogue that we're hearing
Yeah.
more than
I think
anything.
he-
So
I
I don't think.
I think he's doing good at raising the hype. I'm excited. I'm excited, more excited for DC than I have been in a long time.
Well, but getting off DC and getting back to, well, the deceased. In other words, Zeds. In other words, zombies. In other words, Shaun of the Dead.
Did anyone notice at the start of the movie they kind of give you away the whole plot and tell you what's going to happen? They're having a conversation. They say, "Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with some Bloody Marys." What was the first zombie? It was Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to the King's Head. King Phil was bit in the head. And then go back to the bar and take a few shots. Where does it end? Back at the bar, having a few shots.
I think the gun's deactivated. Go ahead, Sir Nerdlot. Go ahead.
No, again, just agreeing. Like it's just the little things like this that absolutely make this movie brilliant.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
it's called competent story writing and good acting and good casting. And it's called people working together that know each other's abilities and know how to do what they do best. Yeah, and I'll bring up Aaron Entertainment's comment here. This movie introduced me to Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Dude, you're not the only one. I mean, I've mentioned this, but yeah.
They make a great duo. The two
they
of them.
do.
They're like the perfect buddy cops, and then later on, they become cops. It just works, you know?
Well, yeah, with Hot Fuzz. Yeah,
you've got the serious, more laid back guy,
Nick Angel.
And then you've got the kind of dumb, bit of a playboy who just wants to have fun and mess around, play games on the PlayStation all day. They work, they bounce off each other. In fact, fun fact, Nick Frost really got into the part for this. There's a scene later where he shaves the side of the back of his head as if he got drunk and someone shaved his head, like you do at these kind of drunken parties. And the dedication to do something like that, even the scratching and that, because he's known for being a bit of a monkey.
Yeah, because he does the impersonation of Clyde, the orangutan from Any Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can. Yeah. Clyde, right turn. DJ, did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like to do.
You just forgot the visual part of it.
Well, I don't have a clip. Sorry.
Well, I'm not going to do it on the stream because, well, it's your stream, so.
That's fine. That's cool. So, Clyde, right turn. Bam. Okay, here's what I can do. Clyde, right turn. Bam. John, this is the part where you react.
And he reacts the total opposite way.
Sorry. I'm getting my rights and my left mixed up. It's my damn camera. It flips it.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. You did it right. You did it right, dude. Oh man.
Sorry, it's a delayed reaction because I'm in Scotland. There's a time
difference.
There's
Oh goodness. Oh, I knew this was gonna be a fun stream tonight. Well, I'll say that I'll say this for Shaun. It takes zombies for him to get his crap together, but he finally gets his crap together.
Oh
And
yeah, he really developed his character. Like after he gets dumped and he goes through that, all it takes is for him to look at a sign that says "Get your act together," and then after that, you see him instead of going for the normal Coca-Cola, he goes for the Diet Cola. Then he's not taking any sugar. Then he's keeping his promises. Then he's being the mature guy and taking leads. So it's really what she was looking for, and it shows what you can do when you put your mind to it and get up off your arse and actually do something.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean,
I feel like they kind of met in the middle, where she kind of had enough excitement during that little zombie outbreak where she was like, yeah, I'm cool with just going down to the Winchester.
Though by the end, they rebuild it and it's now called the Phoenix, as in
yes,
it goes from the ashes.
Yeah.
Because it's burned down, so it's now the Phoenix. Rise again.
Yeah. Well, and play on words. I mean, obviously. And okay, not to mention as they're doing all the interviews and the news reports, and they're using the surviving zombies as manual labor. And you say brilliant. And they're using them for entertainment. They're using them for like game shows or something. And even one woman stays married to her husband, who's a zombie. And Trish is like, do you sleep with it? She's like, well, it's my husband, and I take our vows very seriously. And I'm like, it's a zombie. Are you into necrophilia?
Well, he is a stiff. Yes, I went there.
It makes me think of it makes me think of that what's it called? They have them as pets. Fido. Is that it?
I love Fido too.
Yes.
Fido was awesome. Big Daddy was sitting there going, I have no clue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I forget who it's by or anything. If you can elaborate, I'm not sure.
Older generation thing.
It's a
no
movie about zombies, but it's supposed to take place in like an alternate reality that's set like in the 50s.
Oh, right.
But they put collars around them so they can do domestic work and stuff, and the neighbor's got his zombie named Tammy that he likes to dress up in little skirts and bring them drinks, and they do some freaky there too. But
it's really
like, you don't want to know.
Kind of like what Romero wanted to do, and his eventually, remember they were trying to teach him and to make them good citizens again, useful to the humanity, make some use out of them, use them as slaves, teach them to read and write and stuff like that. And then they give him a gun and it's like, no. And it's like, it just doesn't work. No. I mean, you do know these things are going to turn on you. It's kind of like, the idea of, having robots do all the work for you. Eventually, they're going to get tired of being bossed around and turn on
but
you.
The thing about Fido was, even though when his collar broke, he still didn't turn on the family. He still protected the kid.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Again, that's kind of like the Romero one where...
Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead.
Bub.
Bub. He only attacked the people that wronged him. If you were good to him, he was good to you.
Exactly. And I think up until just recently, Day of the Dead was actually on HBO Max. Pretty sure.
Still is, because I watched
it?
it 2 days ago.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. Good. Good. And just quick shout out to a longtime friend of the channel, Geeks Enjoyed Nerdwalk, LDG. Good to see you, man. Hey, LDG, I don't know if you saw it, but I did put the link for the stream in your Discord. So if you want to pop in, give your 2 cents on Shaun of the Dead or just anything, it's there. So
I haven't heard the best part of Shaun of the Dead yet.
Okay, well, DJ, enlighten us, my good man.
The exact perfect moment of Shaun of the Dead is at the Winchester. But don't stop me now.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about that before you came in, but we can.
Oh well, hell.
But we can talk about some more.
Yeah,
dude. Well, not to mention that one scene really reinvigorated that one particular song, because ever since then you've seen it used in a lot of different things. I mean, I've even seen people use that piece of music for like the hallway scene from Rogue One, and it's glorious.
I couldn't even play it on my radio shows without sitting there acting like I was beating on a zombie with a pool stick.
Right.
Beating a zombie with a bit of wood.
Yep.
And then you think about like how this movie does callbacks, and the timing of this jukebox is the worst.
No.
Yeah. Earlier when
it's all random.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill the queen. What?
Show off the jukebox. Hey, John, mate. Yeah, please, if you don't mind. And then he pours him a couple of flaming shots. And that's where they figure, okay. All right, I'm going to say I want a copy of that Electro album. Even if it's on CD, I don't care. I want it. I need it. I must have it. I'm going to find it. If I have to sell my left foot, I will get that blasted CD. Or I'll just get a copy of Shaun of the Dead soundtrack. It's probably on there too.
It's probably on YouTube, you know.
Probably.
Type into, Shaun of the Dead soundtrack. I'm sure you'll find it. Someone's probably already beat you to it because it's so memorable. Everyone loves the sound to it.
Oh.
It really brought Queen back into life especially for the younger generation who didn't know who the hell it was. All I remember is from that one movie, Don't Stop Me Now, Shaun of the Dead, and all of a sudden everyone's a Queen fanatic again.
Well, I don't think Queen has ever really left the public consciousness, but yeah, this movie did definitely give them a bit of a boost. And okay, I'll just say this: just today I found a fan edit of Mr. Blue Sky set to the scene where Chris and Meg are beating the crap out of everybody in the cafeteria at the school from Family Guy. And I was like, I didn't know I needed this in my life, but I am so glad I found it now. Because it is. I mean, there are certain songs that just do well with fan edits for like scenes from movies. Oh, and well, if you even think about it, Shaun of the Dead did it, and then the first Kingsman did it. Yes. Baby Groot is awesome. Baby Groot is life. And then Teenage Groot. Well, he's just a mouthy wanker, and you want to pop him one, but still, it's Groot.
You mentioned Mr. Blue Sky, and automatically Baby Groot.
Yeah. But yeah, somebody did, and they did the intro for the show, but they set it to that scene and with that music, and again, it was glorious. Absolutely, positively glorious, and I loved it. I even found a fan-edited video with footage from Alita Battle Angel, and it was set to New Divide, but it was like an alternate version of New Divide by Linkin Park. And the vocals were done by a woman and everything named Avery, I think it is. And oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. Now I want to see Alita Battle Angel. I've heard so many people talk about
You've
that.
not seen it? Oh,
I've never seen Alita. Well, it's something that kind of flew underneath my radar in terms of movies, and it's one that I've never seen, but now that I've seen like these fan edits of these videos with footage from it, and not to mention as Christoph Waltz in it, I'm like, oh my gosh, the guy from Inglourious Bastards. Love that movie.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
I hadn't seen the anime, the original film but just seeing that movie wants me to check it out because I've heard it's even better than the movie in some ways. So I'm curious. The story's more or less the same, but they do some things differently. So I'm really, really curious to check out the animated film.
The live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've seen the live action. I'm talking about the anime.
The anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
They did an
I
anime
got you.
film
Okay.
before.
Now the live action was on HBO Max. Is it not anymore?
I honestly don't know. I really don't.
It might not be.
Now
It'll
I know
probably come back though.
Yeah. Well, I know Shaun of the Dead is on HBO Max. I know Hot Fuzz is, but I'm not sure if World's End is or not. But again, I own all three on digital on my PS4, so I'm good. But that's a beautiful thing about HBO Max. Their library is just it's huge. I was listening to
It changes. That's what I love about HBO Max. Like every month, like it swaps out like large swaths of movies.
Yes.
Like large, like you were saying, like all of the Simon Peggs or, Edgar Wright, the Cornetto trilogy. Because I believe World's End is on there.
It might be. I just might have to look it up.
I'm looking right now.
Deej is on it.
I'm looking for it.
Oh, and speaking of, I was about to say, speaking of Inglourious Bastards, Deej, being you cast this hiding vote later this month, probably towards the end of the month after I've done a couple of streams on Snyder Cut and a few other things. I am going to do my director spotlight on Mr. Tarantino. So if you would like to be on that panel, all you need to do is, ask.
Alrighty then.
Tarantino is awesome.
Dude,
He's a great director.
Well, I started doing these when I first started my channel, and it's something I hadn't done in a while, and I was like, I'm gonna get back into doing these director spotlights because they're a lot of fun. I mean, you take a couple hours or however long, you just talk about your favorite directors and the movies they've done, and it really gives exposure to some lesser known or just kind of maybe have faded from public consciousness a little bit, and it brings attention to these directors. I mean, I've done one now for Spielberg. I've done one for Zack Snyder. I did one for Mel Brooks, for John Carpenter, which was actually the very first one I ever did.
Oh,
but
awesome.
Yeah, it's in my back catalog. I've actually got a separate playlist for all those videos. And like I said, later this month we'll be doing Mr. Tarantino, which
World's End is not on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's not. I saw that.
I did the search, and 2 episodes of Doctor Who come up, and some Big Little Lies episode.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. We'll skip that. Thanks. For me, Doctor Who ends with Capaldi to a degree. So, of course, I haven't watched any of Capaldi's stuff. The last Doctor Who I watched was the Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary episode, which love that episode. I have loved Doctor Who ever since Tom Baker. And then when they reintroduced it in the early 2000s with Christopher Eccleston, I was like, ooh, this is Doctor Who. I remember this from when I was a kid. I was like, damn!
Well, you can get Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures on HBO Max, so.
Yeah, I've seen that because they have all the modern Who from Eccleston up to what's-her-face, Whittaker. So, but I'll skip her.
Dr. What?
Dr. What? Not Doctor Who, Dr. What?
Well,
speaking of zombie movies, though, have you watched the one that is on HBO Max, The Dead Don't Die?
Oh, that's so funny.
I love... Okay, I gotta go on camera for this. I love that movie.
I've sold to see it.
Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, glorious, beautiful, funny
forgot about
as
Tilda.
hell. Fun, and she turns out to be a freaking alien.
I know. This movie is, I mean, like kind of in the vein of Shaun of the
Yes,
Dead. How
it
it
really
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. And not to mention, it has a cameo by Selena Gomez, and like,
We need that.
and everybody's
we need
going,
that
the
mask.
investor's just a dirty old man. No,
It's
this
okay.
is the dirty old man down here.
Yep, I am.
I'm just a happily married man.
But if you're going with Bill
Yes.
Murray and zombies, then you got to love Zombieland 2 when they actually show Bill Murray at the beginning of it all.
Oh, really? Is he a zombie?
Yeah, I haven't seen Double
No,
Tap.
no, it's
I'm
at
not
the
sure
end of the movie. It's like they find a videotape of Bill Murray with Al Roker doing an interview when the zombie apocalypse first breaks out.
Oh.
And Bill has to kill all these people that are turning into zombies.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Wow. Okay, I'll definitely have to get that now because I think you can get both of them on like Blu-ray for like cheap, maybe like $20 or something. I'll definitely want that because I love the first one so much. Well, if you even think about it, Shaun of the Dead really did kind of introduce the idea of doing comedic zombie movies because, well, we've just listed two that came after it with Zombieland and Zombieland 2.
But I
And
can
then,
name
and then of
one,
course,
I can name one before it.
Okay, go for it.
Return of the Living Dead.
Oh my gosh. Dude, yes. I love that is like one of my favorite cheesy schlock-esque zombie movies. Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Yep. Especially
Oh
with the female zombie with her head cut off. And you're not going to kick a girl when she's down. Yep.
Not to mention the Michael Jackson zombie dressed up from his costume, his suit from Thriller. And it's the part where all the zombies are getting electrocuted. First one ends with the town getting nuked, and the second one ends with all the zombies getting electrocuted. And the two guys go, "Doesn't this all feel strangely familiar to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it does." Yeah, yeah. Deej, thank you for bringing that up. Return of the Living Dead. I love that movie.
The three afterwards kind of went because they went too serious with them. And
yeah.
Rave to the Grave really sucked, but
the second this Return of the Living Dead Part 2, it was good. It still kept that campy, cheesy element to it, but it wasn't overly serious. And of course, you've got I know we're kind of off topic a little bit here. But you have in the first Return of the Living Dead, they actually chop the female zombie in half, and she's like, and you know it's animatronic, but the animatronic actually looks really good. Even today, it still looks still looks good. And they're like, "Why'd you eat brains?" To ease the pain of being dead.
Yeah. That's the other thing. For such a spoof and a comedy, they had some really good effects in here. Like, when you've got the hole through them, the CGI.
Oh, through Mary, yes.
Yeah. And the makeup, it really is believable, that they could be zombies, they really look the part.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a spoof. They didn't have to go as detailed as that, but they really went all out on it, and that's what I enjoyed about it. It made it more believable, more terrifying.
Well, it's not hard to. Okay. What's his face? Greg Nicotero and for heaven's sakes, the one guy. Oh, for heaven's sakes, he played the guy with the bullwhip and From Dusk Till Dawn. He worked on the...
Oh, yeah, I know you.
Dang nabbit, what's his name? He directed the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I can see his face.
Tom Savini. Thank you,
That's
Tyler.
it, Tom.
Dude. Yes, Tom Savini. That was it. Thank Tyler. Just for that, we'll give you a good drop here. Hold on. Coming through with the clutch. Let's see. What's a good one? Even though it's my face. Let's give you a little website.
Trust in you. You can't trick me anymore.
Okay.
I trust in you. You can't trick me anymore.
That you getting ready for the Spider-Verse of all the different Spider-Men? Maybe you could play a part.
Huh?
Maybe you could play a part. Maybe you could be one of the
Oh
Spider-Men.
No.
I could just imagine you with some spandex shooting white sticky stuff everywhere.
Dude.
That's the first time he's been speechless. Oh, there we go.
Shaun,
The thing
I go ahead, Deej.
The thing I loved about Tom Savini, he basically played the same zombie in 2 Romero films.
Yeah.
Because he was the biker zombie in Dawn of the Dead, and then he came back and was still wearing the same biker outfit in Land of the Dead, even though he had a machete this time.
Yep. Pretty much.
He's quite a good actor, him.
And if you had a really close ear,
well,
you even picked him up in Diary of the Dead.
I've never seen that one.
He's not on screen itself, but you can hear him on the radio yelling, "Shoot in the head."
Okay. I'll have to. After a while with Romero's zombie movies, I got a little burnout. I mean, the last one I saw was Land of the Dead. I liked it. It was fun. It was good. I mean, you obviously you had Dennis Hopper, you had John Leguizamo. You had a pretty good cast and everything. But after that, I just I'm kind of done with this now. And then, of course, you had all the comedy zombie movies. I'm like, ooh, it's the undead and it's funny people. I can get on board with that.
Well, if you ever decide you're going to watch Diary of the Dead, you might as well get Survivor of the Dead, because it actually is a sequel.
Huh, okay.
Because you have one character from Diary that is the lead character for Survival of the Dead. So they both go together.
Okay. I might.
Another good zombie series is the Reanimator series.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Jeffrey Combs plays this mad scientist who just is determined to bring people back to life, but it keeps on going wrong. But he won't give up. He keeps on trying, and it keeps on failing. And you're like, I know you're meant to be a mad scientist, but you're literally doing the very definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. Basically, that's what
Okay.
the entire Reanimated series was all about. Just doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good to see.
Well, okay. Here's another one, and John, you may have heard of it before any of us did. It was one that Peter Jackson did called Brain Dead.
Yes.
Oh, Nerdline, have you
That's-
seen it?
Oh yeah, huge Peter Jackson fan. I mean,
I figured.
if I could turn it around, I could show you all my Middle Earth banners, but I don't feel like doing all that.
Dude, no, I don't, that's cool. You always send me a picture privately on like Twitter or whatever. So
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah.
And Tyler,
Actually, what Brain Dead's yeah. Before Lord of the Rings, Heavenly Creatures, Peter Jackson movie,
yep.
is like one of my favorite deeper cuts of his, because it's a really really good movie, and it's creepy, it's weird, and it's actually kind of based off of a true story.
I've actually never seen it.
I love the kind of Father Ted priest guy. I kick ass for the Lord.
Well, and John, you brought up Jeffrey Combs. He actually had a small part in another Peter Jackson film called The Frighteners, which I love that movie.
Oh yes, yes. The power
Love.
of the mind is absolute. No,
Not to mention-
command you to stop. No.
Not to mention, you got Ghost, Gunnery Sergeant R. Lee Ermey. Like, holy freaking crap. You make me sick, Bannister! I got a nice plot waiting for you up here, bud.
Oh yeah.
I'm not one of your little spooks. You cannot boss the undead around. I can't do R. Lee Ermey, but I can do a fair facsimile.
Yeah, that was
Everybody's
a nice,
going, who the hell's R. Lee Ermey?
I'm not.
That was a nice.
Well,
callback.
Deej, yeah, I know you're not. You're
He is. Come on, Private Pile.
Sir, yes, sir.
I use.
Now drop and give me a 20.
I'll pizza you till you all effing die. A jelly donut? Were you born a fat, flabby piece of crap, Private Pile, or did you have to work on it? Oh, Full Metal Jacket. Well, Kubrick's greats.
Yeah,
Absolute greats.
Man, have you done a?
that was one of Jack Black's earlier ones.
Jack Black was not in Full Metal Jacket.
Is he not? I thought he was the
Nope.
crazy guy. No.
Nope.
Come on.
That was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
That was one of Vincent. I don't think Jack Black was even born yet when Full Metal Jacket came out.
Vincent went from Private Pile to being one of the best kingpins we've seen on screen.
That's what I heard.
The best.
Yep.
Absolutely love his
You-
portrayal of Kingpin.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. You were going to say something, Nerdlot?
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you were about to ask me something.
Director spotlight. Kubrick would be a good one.
Yeah, I might consider it and everything. I'm going to put together another poll.
It would definitely be a weirder one, but
Yeah, because he's done some really screwball movies throughout his career. Not to mention his very last one, which I did go see in theaters. I'm like, why did I waste money on this?
what was his last one?
Eyes Wide Shut. It was the one with Tom Cruise and Nicole
that's
Kidman
right.
before they got divorced. It was the one with the very
Oh
odd,
yeah,
the very odd orgies.
Yeah, the secret sex club
Like,
thing.
what in the hell is this? Like, seriously, what in the... And the score, the score gave me a headache. Unlike the score from Shaun of the Dead, which I actually enjoy. But yeah, that would be a very, very weird... That would be a very terrific...
If
Okay, let's go with...
if you want to talk about weird movies, Zombie Strippers was a weird one.
I've heard about that one.
I cannot say
Never
that I
saw it.
have.
I own it. Yep.
Why does that not surprise me? You dirty old man.
I even have a copy of Zombievers.
Oh, God. I've heard about that one. That is very low budget, isn't it?
Well, you know, it was from sci-fi, so Asylum, you got beavers that are zombies.
How could you rent the thing anyway without a credit card?
I have a gasoline card.
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile.
I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday.
Ew. Well, that's not so bad. I mean, it's only just coming into Thursday. You're still on Wednesday, so yeah. Unless you mean the previous Tuesday, then we have a problem.
Tyler M., I have not seen that movie since I saw it in theaters. I probably never will ever again, just because I simply have no interest. Absolutely no interest whatsoever. To quote one of the truly great comedic minds of the 90s, Tim Allen, I would much rather have my balls pounded flat with a wooden mallet than watch Eyes Wide Shut again.
Now, are you sure about that?
I didn't know that. Is Resident Evil doing a reboot?
My name is Jordan Belfort. The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
And I was worried about my Clyde impersonation, and you play that.
Oh, so yeah, Netflix is doing a couple of Resident Evil reboots.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I heard someone say they didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler brought it up in the comments, or in the chat.
They're doing a couple different things. They're doing a live action, and they're also doing an animated. The animated actually looks very interesting.
Yeah.
CGI animated. So it has
I get
that
you.
style.
I'm quite a fan of the CGI ones because it makes me think of the games, you know, the cutscenes.
Yeah. I forget which one I have.
Well, that's
Go ahead,
okay.
Nerdlot.
If you want animated,
I had to look behind me. Degeneration. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of animated zombie movies, the Dead Space series, based on the video game, those are the two that they did are actually pretty good. So, and I've seen both of those. And I really enjoyed them. The second one's really dark.
There's a Night of the Living Dead animated one too.
I'll have to check that one out.
Oh, yeah, I gotta bring it. Neon Sci-Fi, I am going to plan that watch party. That actually might be when I hit 500 subscribers. I will do a watch party for Galaxy Quest. 400 subscribers is going to be Last Starfighter. So, and then both of those I will do. With both of those, I will do karaoke after parties for both of them. So you'll get a watch party and you'll get karaoke, but that's gonna be for Go ahead, John.
Wasn't there talk about rebooting that the last Starfighter?
I think they're actually going to do a sequel, but I don't know if that's ever really going to happen. Because at this point, it's been so long, I don't know if you're going to get any of the original cast back.
Yeah.
Now, unless they said it further in the future and everything, like with Alex and Maggie's son or something, or kids, then that could work. But yeah, when I hit 400 subscribers, it'll be Last Starfighter Watch Party. When I hit 500 subscribers, it'll be Galaxy Quest Watch Party. So I know I've done karaoke for my last few milestones, but I want to switch things up and do things a little bit different. Now, if I ever hit 1,000, then I will do a giveaway of some sort, but I'm not doing that until I hit 1,000. So
hit subscribe. Come on.
And I'll make it a really good giveaway. I won't make it something lame. So, and I won't shove it behind him. Go ahead, Deej.
Here's a little trivia for you. There's 10 different versions of Night of the Living Dead.
Why does that not surprise me?
There's actually an 11th they're still filming, which does contain at least one of the original actors from the original movie in it.
Wow. That's saying something.
Judith O'Dea is playing an older version of herself.
Huh, okay. Oh. That's really interesting. I honestly... Now, who did Judith play? Because I honestly have no idea.
Barbara.
She played Barbara. Okay. Hey, cool. Hey. Interesting.
I'm still partial to the 1990 version just because it had Patricia Tallman in it. And Tony
Dude, yeah. Deej, yeah, I'm right. That was actually the version of Night of the Living Dead that I saw first. And then I saw the black and white one, and I'm like, yeah, I like this version better. I mean, the original's good. It's a classic. It's on Turner Classic Movies, for heaven's sake. But yeah, honestly, I do like the remake better in a lot of ways. Because
they do have the 30th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead, where they added some extra scenes into the black and white.
Really? I did not know that. Have to check that out sometime.
Because you know how the original ended, where you seen all the guys killing the zombies, and looks like they have things under control.
Yeah.
Well, in their 30th anniversary, they showed that things are under control after that.
Are or aren't?
That they are, because it starts off, they're talking to this priest who has a bite on his face. He got bit by one, but he never turned. And then they get into the whole story, and then at the end of it, they go back to the priest, and he's sitting there holding, I think it was like a little bunny in his lap or something. And they said that they make him keep an animal with him at all times, just in case he turns for some reason, but he never does.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to check somebody if they're a zombie. You know, turn around and say like, "Oh, Dave's eating the rabbit, so run," or grab the blunt blunt weapons.
Yeah,
the worst version I ever seen, it was Night of the Living Dead 3D.
3D.
With Sid Haig. It was.
Oh, the old 3D where the idea of 3D is just put everything close to the camera and make it look like it's coming to you.
Though it is funny when they go to the farmhouse and they start introducing the characters.
3D.
They're watching the old original Night of the Living Dead on the TV.
Oh, wow.
As everything starts out.
I always preferred the black and white one because there's something about the old black and white that just made it more terrifying. You know, it's the same with the old, as Taylor says, the Christopher Lee, The Mummy. That was a classic. You know, the Brendan Fraser one was good, but the Christopher Lee one was terrifying. You know, it's the same. The same with
I
the old
hate-
Dracula ones, you know?
I hated when Turner colorized the old original Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that. No.
That was horrible.
And Tyler, honestly, I don't. I'm gonna have to definitely go rewatch the original Dawn of the Dead because I don't honestly remember that scene. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I think the Dawn of the Dead. I think Dawn of the Dead actually came out the year I was born, back in '78 or somewhere along in there.
Yeah,
I think that
78.
movie. Oh, was it? Because that movie is quite literally as old as I am. I should do a list of movies. I should do like a little short video. Here are movies that came out the year I was born.
I was
Dawn of
7
the Dead.
I was 7 years old when it came out.
Shut up, Deej. I
Apparently-
kid.
And I liked the little nod they did of Dawn of the Living Dead in the remake of Dawn. Because when you seen Matt changing into a zombie, old
Yeah.
Max Headroom, they did that scene of him laying there as a zombie like they did in Dawn of the Dead in the original. When the guy changed upstairs in the little apartment they made at the mall.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I'll definitely have to check that out.
But whatever any of you do, don't watch the remake of Day of the Living Dead. Just don't watch it.
You mean Return of the Living?
No, Day of the Dead. There's a Day of the Dead out there. I watched it.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
horrific because it had Rains from Dawn of the Living Dead. But he was a military guy in this one. But every time he killed zombies, they went to dust like freaking vampires.
what?
Yeah, it was
Zombies
horrible.
don't dust. This isn't.
These
this
did.
isn't Buffy.
These did. They went to black dust like Thanos snapped them out or something. It was horrible.
No.
Yes.
Zombies don't dust. You have to burn them. It's more fun that way. And then you have a barbecue.
And there was actually another Return of the Living Dead part, or no, not Returning Day of the Living Dead 2 that came out years and years ago, and that one was horrible too.
I think the biggest problem is zombie movies. They can be overdone, and I think the great thing is they didn't go back to the well with Shaun of the Dead. They did one and done, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Now, did it sprout a little bit of a trend with comedic zombie movies? Yeah, it did. But every one of them had something clever about them, something funny, something original, something fresh that really could that engaged you in the story.
Like Cockneys versus zombies?
Huh?
The Cockneys versus zombies?
That one I've never heard of.
Big Daddy-O knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's like the retirement home meets the zombies. So it's like, which one's the zombie again?
At one point, they find a baby zombie and they punt it at a big target on a wall.
It's funny seeing a zombie going really slow and an old granny with the walking frame. Like, who's faster? This is an exciting chase.
Oh man.
Apparently, the year I was born, there was a Italian zombie film called After Death. I've never heard of it, but probably because
Even I've never heard of that one, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh goodness. Oh.
I wonder
I
if they
think
have
they're-
subtitles.
I think there could have been a Shaun of the Dead too, though.
Oh yeah.
Say again, Deej?
I think there should have been a Shaun of the Dead too, though.
No.
They kind of played off the original and the Dawn of the Dead because they replaced them all with the Winchester. Well, they should have played it up where they made fun of all the rest of the Romero movies.
No.
You know what they should do? They should do a spin-off and we get to see the other party, see what they went through. The other group.
Now that I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to. That could be interesting because even Yvonne's group seems like they could be an interesting band of characters. So I would, in maybe that instance, I wouldn't mind it, but maybe call it Yvonne of the Dead. I mean, it still plays off of the whole Shaun,
Right.
Dawn, Yvonne. It still plays it off. But I think the actors who did those parts are probably older now, so I don't know if that would necessarily work.
Well, the boyfriend,
Return of the Shaun of the Dead.
the boyfriend. I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly. The boyfriend to Yvonne was Bilbo from the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget that? Nerd, let's see. That's why you're here. You're oftentimes the other half of my brain when Ma'am Ambassador's off doing her own thing, which is cool.
Right.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, because I can see it now. Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that actor.
Yeah, he's
Like
great.
the actor. Yeah,
I can't wait to see him in another Marvel movie too.
I liked him.
I think he even might have a cameo in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Maybe I could.
That
be
would
wrong.
be perfect.
That'd be cool.
I would think so because isn't the Baron
Baron
bad guy in
Zemo?
that one?
Yeah. Baron Zemo's
And-
one of the villains.
And he was in charge of locking him up, so probably I can see a cameo of some sort.
Yeah, I'd be cool with
Question. I got a question though for everybody, and even the
Sure.
chat. Did you watch Shaun of the Dead from the DVD?
I've seen both. I saw it in theaters. I've seen it on DVD.
Because the DVD gives you extras where they give you storyboards of what happened with each of these characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
So
forgot
Diana
about
Diana actually survived, and David does die, and it does tell what happens when Shaun runs off. It does do a thing for Ed. I think it does even a thing for Liz, maybe.
I
So,
don't
yeah.
remember the Liz one. I remember they do the thing for when Shaun ran off, and then they did a thing where Shaun snuck back to get Ed and take him home with him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Lucy,
I remember those two definitely.
Lucy used her boyfriend's arm to beat the zombies off and then get away.
Yeah. Yeah, she climbed up a tree.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tyler, it's not just on the Blu-ray; it's also on the DVD version. And I think it's in the special features. So
Yeah, there's an awesome special features on there also called what is it? I got it right here. Hold on. The Zombo meter.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Deej and Ambassador will probably remember. You remember like pop-up video from VH1
Yes.
where it had it gives you all these little nitpicks.
Yes.
All these little
Tidbits,
short little facts
factoids.
about. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the Zombo meter is. And it
Yes.
is great to watch.
Oh,
Yes. You get a lot of those little insights about especially with Edgar Wright using, different references and stuff from, different movies that he loves. And actually, speaking of that, one of my favorite ones is, and I don't know if it's necessarily a reference, but when it has the quick flash of the beer pouring, then the beer mug, and then him drinking it. Has anybody ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
How it has that the needle scene where it,
Yes.
Very
the end of that movie is just very. I've only seen it once or twice, and that was more than enough for me because the ending gets very disturbing and very dark, and it's
one
hard.
of those. It's one of those movies I have that I just have to not necessarily rewatch, but if anybody's ever oh, I've never seen that movie, I'm like, here you go, watch it, bring it back in a week.
Yeah, because I think it's Darren Aronofsky who directs that, and he does some very interesting, very dark stuff. And that one has a very, very dark, very depressing ending, and it's just, it's hard. It's a hard watch because it deals with addiction in a very very deep and heavy way, and it's hard. It's even hard for me to talk about because I still have some of that imagery stuck in my head, and I don't want it there. But
yeah, I hate it too. I don't like it, but positive note, Jennifer Connelly's in it, so
yes, that's true. But unfortunately, her ending isn't much better than anybody else's.
no.
Jeez. Well, and I think Jared Leto's in that, isn't he?
No, it's Cillian. I get them mixed up also. It's Cillian Murphy.
Okay. Anyway, back to Shaun of the Dead. Something happy. Okay, one really funny little scene where Diane throws a dart and it lands in Shaun's temple, and they're like, ouch! Pain? And he's like, ow!
Yeah, for someone that had a dart in his head, he was very calm about it. I'd be like, yeah. Sorry.
I love how you got to pay attention to that really closely because when he pulls the dart out, you can actually see the blood shoot.
Oh,
yeah. You see a little CG blood. Yeah.
I don't know why, but one of my favorite parts, when I retweeted your tweet earlier, the scene where he's like, "Have you never taken a shortcut before?" And he goes to jump over the fence, and it just falls down. Oh, I love that scene because that one plays out through all of the Cornetto trilogy, which is great.
I would love to see like a crossover with, like, you've got the aliens, you've got the zombies, you've got them as the police officers with the greater goods, and just see like a universes collide, and then maybe even get Paul in there, to just as a wee cameo to the other movies that they did. Maybe he knows the aliens and he saves the day.
Yeah, I was always kind of bummed that Paul wasn't actually part of the Cornetto.
Yeah, because it fits. It's the same kind of comedy, and you could think that it's the same kind of universe as A World's End, because they're both sci-fi related. So you could think that maybe they're like characters at different points in their life, almost like, because they're similar, but they have quite a few differences as well.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Simon Pegg. If you look at each of the characters, it's great to see how each character is so different. Like, one is a lazy guy, that just wants to sit around and play. One is a kind of hard-end cop, very serious, no mess and anything like that. And then you've got at World's End, where it's just like, I just want to have a pint. I just want it like the good days, I want to be back in high school.
We'll just sit. So that's the big plan. We're just gonna sit in the dark, eating peanuts and drinking warm beer, and then they end up sitting in the dark, eating peanuts and drinking warm beer. But hey, what else are you gonna do during a zombie apocalypse?
Hello, McDonald's. Do you deliver?
Deliver brains.
But yeah, the editing is quite good in this because speaking of the remember the TV scene where they flick through the channels and each one is continuing the sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In London town, change the channel.
There's panic on the streets of London.
Are serious attacks, and he kicks them in the knees. Let's all being eaten alive.
Incapacitating, removing the head, or destroying the brain. And and later on at the end, towards the end, when they're doing all the wrap ups and the interviews and the reporters on there, and he's like, I never thought I would ever say that phrase on live television. Removing the head or destroying the brain.
Sounds like a fun night.
Yeah, if you have nothing else better to do. Oh, goodness. Oh. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love doing the stuff I do on this channel is I get to talk about talk about movies like this, like Shaun of the Dead, and just have a good time, much like they kind of do during the whole movie.
Have a good time.
Don't stop me
now.
Don't stop the stream now. Quick,
I'm going to have to eventually. I'm going to have to eventually.
Oh, sorry, wrong game.
But it just goes to show, even if you leave the 80s and 90s and you go into the 2000s, there are still great movies there that you can talk about. And Shaun of the Dead's one of them.
Oh yeah,
and it was done by people who knew what the hell they're doing, and that's
the one about what they were doing.
That too, yeah. And it doesn't have any. Okay, all right. Here's the funny thing: how many of you would wish we had seen zombie Queen Elizabeth?
No, I would have rather seen Prince Charles, because then it would have been trying to decide was he a zombie or not.
I thought she already was a zombie. I mean, yeah, it looks like she's got one foot in the grave. Or
yeah, all right.
Wait. Yeah. I thought they weren't zombies. I thought they were werewolves. Remember Doctor Who? The royal family has werewolf genes. That explains it all.
We had Harriet Jones in Shaun of the Dead, so it's okay.
Can you just imagine that? Hi, I'm Barbara, Vice Prime Minister. Hello, Barbara.
We're coming to get you, Barbara. Okay, can we just say that Shaun's mom?
Yeah.
Shaun's mom is awesome.
Just like butter.
She's like butter. Sean B's dressed to go to work. No, Richard. He's just dressed because he loves this movie that much, and that's how dedicated he is. He's Shaun.
If he was truly dedicated, he would have a red spot on the bottom of his pocket,
or he'd be wearing his tie as a bandana. Like Rambo.
Yeah. I think this is actually the first stream I've ever seen John without a hat on.
Aye. Well, Shaun doesn't wear a hat, so I don't wear a hat. I've got a leather jacket somewhere, though.
My favorite zombie movie is actually World War Z. I've actually never seen that. I've heard it's good, but I've just never seen it.
I only liked one aspect of World War Z.
What was that?
It predicted Peter Capaldi as Doctor Who.
Did it?
if you go to the credits and look for his name,
Mhm.
his name is listed as WHO Doctor. It's a true story. Look at the IMDb. Peter Capaldi is listed as WHO Doctor.
For a minute there, I thought we were going to see some backdoor action there. That must happen backstage.
Ambassador's looking that up now to see if I'm pulling his leg or not, and I'm not.
Ambassador,
Or maybe
how do you pee in that thing?
just like that. Oh goodness. Oh well, no, Deej, I don't know what you're showing me, but I'm not bringing it up.
It's the World War Z IMDb page.
I believe you, Deej. I was just giving you a hard time, okay? Oh, okay. Completely random topic. Did any of you hear? I think it was like last weekend or sometime last week. Another channel had a bunch of trolls come in, and when they came onto the stream, they started showing porn.
Yep, I was supposed to be on that stream that night, and I was indisposed. So that's why it got canceled from what it was supposed to be and turned into a random whoever jumps up that night, and that's what happened.
Yeah. I think it was Snowdub Music and Entertainment. I think that's who it happened. Yeah, it was him that happened to, and I'm like, dang it! I missed. Wow. Okay, I did. Good thing I don't do.
Was this on YouTube?
Oh
Yeah.
It happened on my channel months ago too.
Yeah, Tyler M. I think Tyler. Don't you watch Snowdub? I know I watch him from time to time myself. Richard, I'm not sure if they did or not, to be honest with you. But
It almost happened.
No, it wasn't.
It almost happened to LDG, but he sent them an alternate StreamYards link, so they were off on StreamYards all by themselves, not up on the panel, and they tried doing it.
That's why we love LDG. He is like Troll Buster. Troll Buster.
And games, I can't say if it was him or not because, well, you can't really. I'm more leaning. It was just the random idiots that go around and do it every once in a while.
I think it was just a bunch of randos who did it. And I tell those randos now, you even think about coming near me, I nuke trolls from orbit. Just like this guy. Or maybe this guy. Don't even bother.
So, does the glasses help focus the beams of light from your eyes, or are they just for looks?
How many glasses do you go through melting them every time you?
Oh, you want to be funny. You want to be funny. Okay, I can be funny. I can do that. You want funny? I'll give you funny.
If you go to Troy, Glory will be yours. The world will remember your name.
Achilles!
Get up, Prince of Troy.
I only have one question. Has the missus seen that clip and asked you to start working out?
Okay. It's getting funny. Excuse me.
I can ask you the same question, Deech.
I'm not married, so I can be a blob.
Yeah, yeah. To Tyler's like, yeah, I'm a member of Cotton Connection. I'm not a member, but I'm Cotton Connection adjacent. I'm too straight laced to be a full on member. That I don't have any puppets. I'm gonna watch Man of Steel tonight. Only 8 more days till Snyder Cut. Yeah, Richard, I don't blame you, man. I really don't. I just a little change of subject just for a few minutes. I actually, again, last month I did a watch party for Man of Steel, and I had not seen it since I had seen it back in 2013 in theaters. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember how good this movie was. Yes, we have Fozzie Bear, who is apparently now taboo, and now we have a big white.
Got something red for you.
You just can't have Pepe Le Pew around.
No.
Oh, don't get. I don't want to get into a bunch of that nonsense. That's just. I'm just going to say one comment. That's it. This is my stance on the whole thing about the Muppets. And it's not about the Muppets. It's about the people who decide this. You're stupid. There's my 2 cents.
Ambassador.
Yes.
You got any Rambo face swaps?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Oh.
Because
That would've been
I
perfect.
like Rambo, but I'm not like a hardcore Rambo fan. So, I mean, I didn't even see the last one, even though I've heard it's very good, and I probably should at some point.
I actually just finished the Netflix Punisher series. And it reminds me a lot of Rambo.
Yeah.
Like, especially the Netflix show. It was super fun.
Oh yeah. But
Okay,
back then, Netflix knew how to do good Marvel shows.
Well, not necessarily. They did good with Punisher. They did good with Daredevil. The others were a little.
Actually,
Especially-
Jessica Jones is
I
my
like
favorite
Jessica
out of
Jones.
all of them.
Yeah.
The worst one was Iron Fist.
David Tennant.
I've heard that. Speaking of Netflix, there's actually a show that Mam Bester introduced me to, and I've actually really enjoyed it. We just watched another episode before I went on this evening, called Bridgerton, and I was not sure if I would like it or not, but I've really enjoyed it. It's an interesting premise. It's from an interesting time in history, and I'm liking it. I told her this earlier today. I was like, I don't say this often enough, but thanks for introducing me to the shows that you've watched. Because she introduced me to Outlander, which I've loved, and we're going to get back into eventually. And now she's introduced me to Bridgerton. The only show that she introduced me to that I just could not get into was Vampire Diaries, because, even though I know there was problems with the production, I still love Buffy. I will always love Buffy.
Well,
And
if you have Netflix, a good zombie one that you have to check out is Kingdom. It's
Kingdom's
a
decent.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch out? I just recently watched it, Black Summer.
Yep, I've seen Black.
No,
I really
haven't.
enjoyed that. It surprised me.
The one thing that Netflix has done recently that really cheesed me the hell off is the fact that they canceled Dark Crystal: Rise of Resistance. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and they let the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender leave that project. instead of working with them. But actually, it ended up really good because now they're with Nickelodeon getting ready to launch their own Avatar animation studio.
Now, when you say Avatar, are you talking about like Last Airbender or James Cameron Avatar?
No, last Airbender.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. You have to differentiate between avatars. Is it giant blue monkeys?
Well,
or is it?
you get
is
to
it the
know
other
me a
thing?
little. You get to know me a little bit better. I'm never going to be talking about the blue avatars. I mean,
I
it's
didn't think
decent,
so.
but
Yeah, I get that. Believe me. So, okay, just another random question. Who's excited for Godzilla versus Kong? Anybody?
Me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me.
actually,
Me.
my 4-year-old all of a sudden is
Mechagodzilla.
like, I want to watch this movie. I'm like, what? Like, I'm cool. We watch it.
I can believe
Hey.
that. I mean, when I was young, I used to love watching the old kaiju just to see them fight.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I had my toys and I was like, rah, 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 rah. I love that.
Hey, Nerdla, I know you're muted at the moment, but I'm going to get in touch with you on Twitter and discuss something with you. I'm going to toss an idea your way about Godzilla versus Kong and everything. So, yeah, but I watched that trailer and I love that I love that theme song. There he is. Boom, boom,
This thing's
boom,
older than
boom,
you,
boom.
Ambassador.
I'm sure it is.
I've had it since I was a kid.
Wow. Dude, that's cool. You've got almost as good of a toy collection as Enosh does. Not quite, but close.
I'm getting there.
I know, Deej. I'm just. I don't think anybody will ever have as massive a toy collection as Enosh does from over at Poindexter Lounge. But I actually, me and the missus, we went and did a little retail therapy this morning when I got home from work, and I actually found an early Henry Cavill movie called Immortals. Anybody remember it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of his first movies he ever did. And he played, I think it was Perseus or Theseus or something like that.
That
It was
has
one
a
of the
good.
demigods.
That has a good director tied to it too.
Tarsem. Yeah,
Oh.
the guy only goes by one name, Tarsem. Very odd. But I actually added another. Give me just a minute, because as most of you know, I collect Mr. Freeze figures, and I picked up a new Mr. Freeze today. So give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I've got. I don't know if any of you remember, but the old Wampa from the Star Wars. With the horn and the.
Got that, and I've got that and the Rancor.
Oh, I don't have the Rancor.
Oh.
So what's some of your Shaun of the Dead is one of the most easily quotable movies. Like, obviously you got red on you, even if it's brown or orange or whatever, you got a little red on you. Sorry.
The first time
No,
it
I'm
was.
sorry, Shaun.
It was a pen that leaked, wasn't it? And then it was foreshadowing the bloods later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite quotes, and I can't repeat it all here on the stream, but can I get any of you a drink?
Yes. Oh man. Okay. Here was the first Mr. Freeze I ever got. Not too shabby. Here was another one that I found back last year. So.
Oh yeah.
Not too bad. This is the one I found today. It's still in the package. I've still got to get the rest of the price tag off, but yeah. So, yeah. I got three freezes.
I used to have a Mr. Freeze action figure, but I lost it, and probably good reason I lost it because it was the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Yes, that one needs to be disappeared.
Me as an action figure.
Ralphie!
No, it's me. I'm the pink bunny.
Oh, and guys, I heard everything you said.
I thought that was something from Five Nights at Freddy's. I was like, holy.
Nope, that's little Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Oh.
Yeah.
And since I do have the pink bunny outfit from A Christmas Story, I say it's me. All right, Ambassador, I'm going to ask you about one zombie series, if you've watched it or not.
Sure.
iZombie.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I have watched Z Nation a little bit.
Well, see, The Black Summer is a spinoff of Z Nation. It's just in a real serious tone for that one. But iZombie is a good little funny zombie show.
Okay.
I am already dead.
There's basically two types of zombies in that show. Some that can pass as human, and then some that are just all out try to eat you. But it's a woman that she's a zombie. She works in the police department down in the morgue where they try to figure out the crimes. And if she eats parts of the brain, she gets the flashes and memories of what goes on. That's how she solves the crimes.
Yes. And you want to know how they test for zombieism? How do they know if you're a zombie or not? Hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce test.
They have to put hot sauce on everything they eat in order to get any taste from it.
Yeah. And if you can have hot sauce without, going into dying almost, you're a zombie. You're already dead.
Oh my goodness.
It's quite good. I like the comic panels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see the different personalities that she gets every time she eats a brain, because she gets the memories and personality of the victims that she eats, and to use it to solve crimes and stuff like that. So it's quite good.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up here, but thank you all for being here tonight. And Deej, I am sorry. I know you don't expect an apology. It's been so long since you and I have talked. I didn't know you liked this movie and everything. And I'll try and connect to you through Facebook or wherever, so we can keep in touch. Being you're trying to get away from Twitter.
Well, at least I'm not doing reviews of movies that you have planned a couple of weeks ahead of time, and I'm doing them like before you, and like Blazing Saddles.
Oh, hey, that didn't bother me. Believe me. So,
I kind of gave up on the movie reviews for a while.
But you did. You were. I'll say I liked when you were doing those. Those were a lot of fun. I liked being a part of those, even. So, but yeah, I honestly, to give my final, we'll go around the horn, give our final thoughts. For me, Shaun of the Dead, it's a great film. It's a great comedy done by people who know how to do comedy properly. And if you come across this stream and you're like, what is this thing called Shaun of the Dead? If you don't own a copy, you can find it on HBO Max. You can buy it off a PlayStation store. You can probably buy it off just about anything. Go check out this movie. And if you like this one, if you like it, definitely check out Hot Fuzz and World's End, because they're both great films. So, guys, any final thoughts before we go? And I'll give, for those of you that have a channel, I'll give you have the floor to plug your channels as well.
So, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I have to say about the movie. It's a fantastic movie. Edgar Wright does a fantastic job. If you've never heard of him, you got to check out his work. The man is a legend behind the camera. He does some great filmography and stuff like that. So definitely check it out. Other than that, I'm Big Daddy John B, also known as the Crazy Scotsman. So you can check me out on my channel, or you can also follow me on Twitter at BigDaddy29. So I hope to see you there.
I'll go. Yep. You can find me on YouTube, Sir Nerd a Lot, basically any platform as Sir Nerd a Lot. When it comes to Shaun of Dead, I just really appreciate Shaun of Dead, for not only just being like an instant cult classic, for all of the thing it introduced me to, as I was saying earlier on in the stream, introduced me to a lot of BBC comedy sitcoms like Spaced and Black Books. And like John was saying, Edgar Wright is just a masterclass director. Baby Driver, you're talking about, a lot of different styles and genres. I would have never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World if it wasn't for Shaun of Dead introducing me to Edgar Wright. Definitely go check out like every single thing Edgar Wright has his name attached to. He didn't direct it, but Attack the Block, John Boyega's first movie. Edgar Wright didn't direct it, but he produced it. Great alien flick. John Boyega before he was Finn. It's awesome. Like I was saying, Spaced and Black Books, those sitcoms it's like classic British stuff that like I just would have never really gotten into if it wasn't for Shaun of the Dead and Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and all of those guys. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I'm just Deej. I'm the Demented One. You can find me on my channel, Deej Odyssey. We do everything. And two important things to take out of this movie, besides it being the greatest comedy zombie movie of all time. Watch it so you can learn what a best I can't even talk. A masturbate means whatever. And I can't talk, but dogs can look up. Yeah, exacerbate. And dogs can look up. Don't forget, dogs can look up.
And for Nedalot, I've just found out that Spaced is on Netflix, so I'm going to be checking that out at some point, probably.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, you're gonna love it, guarantee you. If you love Edgar Wright and these guys, you'll love it.
Well, and again, I want to thank my panel, my three good friends here, Big Daddy O, John B, Sir Nerdlot, and DJ, even though he was a little bit late because of, well, me. Guys,
I'm always late.
What's with rabbits and always being late?
I like to make an entrance.
Late
yes,
for a
you
very
do.
important date.
Yeah. I do want to let you all know, I did have to reschedule a stream for next week because my guest and everything had some family obligations come up. But next Thursday afternoon, I'll be going live with a recent acquaintance and everything that I discovered through YouTube. Well, actually through another channel called Forces of Light Entertainment. And that great channel there. I highly suggest y'all go check those two ladies out. They do a lot of really good live streams and videos. And I highly recommend them. But next Thursday afternoon at 12, I'll be going live with Any World But Ours. And that's the name of the channel. I did a shout out. Well, no, I didn't do a shout out for them, but I will. Um, the channel is called A World But Ours, and I highly recommend you check him out as well. And then just recently, a day or so ago, well, yeah, it was yesterday, I had a brand new subscriber pop up, and the channel is called Access Blockbusters. And another really good movie review, pop culture channel. Guy has a very good perspective on things.
Sorry, I got my son in my lap.
That's okay, Nerdlot. No worries, man. No worries at all. I will. I did send out a link with this morning or this afternoon with my channel shout out. So go check out Access Blockbusters and Any World But Ours, and definitely check out Forces of Light Entertainment. 3 recent acquaintances, and I hope to have them on soon, and to give them some more exposure. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, whether you were here live or you catch us on the replay. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. And as always, smash that like button. And if you do come across this stream and you are not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button. And as promised, when we hit 400 subscribers, I will do that Last Starfighter watch party, and we'll do a karaoke after party for that. And then when we hit 500 subscribers, we will do a watch party for Galaxy Quest. So, and I just want to say one final word. I thank you all very much for your support, and thank you all for going on this journey with me, and for not just supporting me, but supporting all these other channels who give up their time and give up their talents and their energy. It's been a fun ride, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. I will be back next Wednesday night. We'll be doing another retro review before Zack Snyder's Justice League drops, and we'll be discussing the Hellboy movies, the Ron Perlman ones. We don't speak of the other one here. So, and I will let you all know I will be doing at least 2 or 3 live streams reviews of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I will keep you on the loop as those come, and it's gonna be a fun month. It's gonna be a fun few months and everything coming up in April and May especially. So, anyways, folks, you all have a great night, and we will see you all next time. And until next time, these are the Ambassadors, signing off.